Welcome back, everyone. We are here tonight with the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies. Joining me in hosting duties tonight, we've got Chase over here on the top left.
Hello,
Sorry. We're also joined tonight with Roller Coaster, the winner of the latest Texas VGC Wednesday tour. And we're going to be having 4 really awesome battles tonight. Super excited. So in the very first battle, we're actually going to be having Justin Snores versus Adam. And then in our second battle, we are going to be having Amy Woke Flossie versus White Tigers. In our third battle, we'll have our very own we'll have Nibs versus Sir Wilson. And then in the final one, we'll have our commentator Chase here taking on Cherry, who I see Cherry Mancake over there in the chat. Super excited. As y'all remember, last stream was our affiliate celebration stream. Some of y'all were so awesome and came out, and then we have also been starting to stream the Wednesday night Texas VGC tournament. You got to see 2 games in Top Cut, or 2 sets in Top Cut from me, and then 1 set from Roller Coaster this last week. We have to convince Roller Coaster to continue to win it, so we have game 3 every week. Or perhaps Chase or Nibs wants to make a run this week.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, so the other thing, tonight we're going to be having a mix of series. So we're going to have a couple that are going to be in Series 5 versus a couple that are in Series 6. So we're super excited to kind of, I think a lot of people got a lot of practice with Series 5 in this last week. Some did it very successfully. Some of us, myself included, got a little tilted, and I never want to play in an IC again. I don't know about anyone else.
I think people that did well never want to play in an IC again.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, so we see Woke Flossy saying same in the chat, so. Yeah, so with that, we're going to go ahead and try and get everything all set up for our first game, unless Chase or Roller Coaster, you want to have any opening thoughts you want to throw out there?
No, I got nothing. I'm ready to see some battles.
Awesome.
I don't really have anything other than ICs are awful.
ICs are in fact awful, so it looks like we are going to go ahead and be right back once we get our video feed all set up. Thanks, y'all. All right, and we're back. Welcome back, Chase. I guess welcome back to me.
I'm back.
You were just commentating this last round.
Yeah, it's actually time for me to say welcome back for myself, and not the first time where it was my first time here.
Oh, give me 1 second while I go ahead and fix this overlay real quick.
Interesting. I see the trade. Who is that trading? I see. I can't read.
It's too small. Will was trying to trade stuff. Right.
Oh.
Sorry about that, y'all.
What on earth is Will using?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start to talk about this.
Mono Ice.
Yeah, Mono Ice. I'm curious if they're all shiny again. Like we know in the past, Will has run mono teams to more effect than I think most of us would have given credit for. I know I lost. Also, it looks like Will is currently searching offline, and I think he realized it. Because it was the little white symbol instead of the blue one. Yeah, so previously we've seen an episode on YouTube labeled The Power of Friendship where he used a mono water team with that physical tentacle, if you recall.
Yeah. I wonder if this is Dragon Dance Lapras.
You know what? I don't know.
Is it Specs Obama Snow?
We saw Obama Snow used recently here on stream with Woke Flossie bringing that, 2 weeks ago, right? Or no, I'm sorry, I played her in the Reddit, or the, not the Reddit, the Texas VGC tour. So what we see from Nibs here is pretty standard. This is kind of his favorite core that he likes to work around, with Grim Arc and Lapras, as well as having Sylveon and Serena are 2 of his Series 6 favorites.
Yeah, before they start loading up their teams, I want you to guess every single item on Will's team.
Oh gosh, Choice Scarf, Arctivish, Life Orb Mammo.
I think it's Scarf of Abomus now. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Assault Vest Mammoth Line. Those are my only 2 guesses.
that's fair. Sash on Alolan Ninetales.
It's Icy Rock. What?
Oh, I missed that. So then, all hail.
What is going on?
I missed it. I didn't actually catch it, but yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting here. So we see a Lychee Berry on that Abomus Snow, and the Choice Scarf Arctivish. So I called 1 correctly.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so we are seeing a mono ice team. Chevy IK looks like they were thinking maybe it was Big Root Abomus Snow, but as we see here, it's Lychee Berry. Will always has an interesting tech, and it appears to have left Chase speechless until we actually see it come out.
Abomus doesn't get fling, does it?
You know what? It might get fling.
It might just be like max speed fling onto Lapras.
That could work.
Like,
we do see Sir
also,
Wilson in the chat.
I'm so confused.
We do see Sir Wilson in the chat saying there's about 30 minutes to put into this team build. So let's see how it comes together.
I don't think I could have come up with this in 30 minutes. If you told me mono ice, I would have given you Ninetales, Sandslash, Lapras, and I would have been like, okay, there are no other ice types that exist.
Yeah, maybe a Glaceon with the evasion boosting 1 inhale, which shows you how much like I remember about all of these Pokemon, because I rarely use hail based teams. So
I would have given you Beartic maybe.
Yeah, Beartic could be interesting.
That's like half an ice type.
Yeah, with Slush Rush.
It doesn't really count as like a... I mean, it is ice type, but like it kind of doesn't count to me.
Yeah, it operates much more like, not like an ice type.
It doesn't operate like anything. It's a fake Pokemon.
It's a fake Pokemon. It was a Pokemon generated in a lab that we were supposed to like, and we don't.
Also, how does Mono Ice beat Corviknight?
Freeze is one potential for that.
Oh, you hypnosis it. That's how you beat it.
Yeah, you can hypnosis as well. Yeah, that is true. The Alolan Ninetales has access to hypnosis, which, you know, if you're gonna click a 60% base power or 60% accuracy move, that's one of the best ones to click, right?
Yeah. I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know how to commentate this match. Like, what does Mono Ice do?
Yeah, we're about to see. So, I mean, Sandslash is a pretty powerful Pokemon, and it will be moving first, but it looks like Nibs is identified as a win condition, which is Steel Spike with Corviknight into everything.
And I love Moonvault Corviknight. It's my favorite.
It's very
I don't know why. I just love it so much. It's so cool. But, yeah, I mean, like, if you just Steel Spike, it doesn't matter how many Swords Dances you get up. A +3 Corviknight.
Sandslash avoids the Thunder Wave. Gets the Swords Dance off, so it is going to live to next turn.
Yeah, but, like, how much past next turn is it living?
I don't think very far. This max Steel Spike here, going to go ahead and boost up the Corviknight's defense stat. Shockingly not doing as much as I would have thought into that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised there. Although this turn, something like a Thunder Wave and Steel Spike into the Ninetales might make sense.
Yeah.
Assuming that the Sandslash might Dynamax, and you can just pick off the Ninetales before it gets its Aurora Veil up.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might just click Hypnosis.
Yeah, and I think here the information gain is big for Nibs, and that he is probably guessing Sash on that Ninetales, because we see that pretty often.
Yeah.
You know,
although if I saw Mono Ice, I would just all my thoughts would go out the window.
That's fair.
My brain would be empty.
That's really fair. Yeah, Sandslash being a Pokemon that has 2 4x weaknesses is it makes sense to have a Focus Sash on it, but Dynamaxing it here just under half health. It's gonna do a thing here. We see the Thunder Wave this time, goes ahead and connects. And next up will be the Ninetales of the Aurora Veil going ahead and boosting up the basically setting a reflect and light screen in the same turn. And we now reveal it is Babiri Berry on the Grimmsnarl. It's going to go ahead and eat this max Steel Spike a little bit nicer. It is a +2, so I don't think it's going to live. Yeah, I was like, I forgot about the Sword Stance. That's not going to make it. Alolan Sandslash does have a pretty nice attack stat, and is obviously very fast here, but now that it's paralyzed, a lot of that speed from Slush Rush is kind of negated here. So we see the max Airstream, actually, from Nibs into the Ninetales, not really doing a whole lot of damage.
But that also means that Steel Spike would have KO'd through Aurora Veil based on that damage.
Yeah. Yeah, so presumably, like, maybe trying to break a Focus Sash there, thinking I should go ahead and maybe get a speed boost here to outspeed the Ninetales in the next turn, depending on how speed tiers work with this. But now you have an Arcanine, which is 4 times super effective and will connect with that Sandslash before it gets a chance to attack.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Mono Ice can beat Arcanine or Corviknight.
Yeah. So
especially when you're not Dynamaxing Lapras.
Yeah, credit. Sir Wilson is going to get the benefit of what would have happened if you Dynamax Lapras, though, with the Aurora Veil coming out. But here, another Airstream into this Ninetales.
Yeah, I think prioritizing the Airstreams is one way to go about this, although once the Ninetales is gone, which it would have been to a Steel Spike, there's nothing faster than a Corviknight with 1 Airstream boost.
Exactly, yeah. So let's see here. Nib's now in a position where he is pretty free to just kind of spam that Iron Head button. Probably don't want to go for a whole lot else.
Yeah. I mean, like an Iron Head Flamethrower is a double KO here. I would assume. I don't know if like Sandslash secretly has like 5,000 special defense, but yeah.
Nope, it goes down pretty quickly. It's a Pokemon that, you know, being 4 times weak to fire as well as fighting is a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's also a Steel type that doesn't resist Rock, which isn't great. So, defensive typing is like the worst defensive typing you could possibly have, but it's also probably like the second best offensive typing you could have behind potentially like Mamoswine's offensive typing.
Yeah, for sure. Which Will does have access to on this team. So now we see the 2 Pokemon in the back, the Lapras that will not be Gigantamaxing this game, and the Arctovish. So Arctovish is the lesser-known little brother of Dracovish. With it having access to the same move in Vicious Rend, and the same... Does it get Strong Jaw as well?
No, it does not.
Okay, that's, yeah.
It gets Water Absorb, and...
Which Dracovish also gets.
What is the other one it gets? I don't think it gets Strong Jaw.
Yep, so we see a Snarl here coming out to go ahead and lower that special attack on the Lapras. Realizing that here, the Arcanine not as useful with the Fire-type moves into neutral hits on the Lapras and the Arctovish. And the Vicious Rend coming out last, that definitely kind of nerfs its damage output. Actually opting to heal the Arctovish with the Sparkling Aria being a spread move. That's an interesting tech there.
Was Sparkling Aria always a spread move? Like even in Gen 7?
That's a great question.
Because I honestly have no clue. I thought it wasn't a spread move, and then I found out it was a spread. Okay, I'm seeing in chat Cherry saying that yes, it was always a spread move.
Okay.
I had no clue.
Yeah, and then the other ones are Ice Body, which would mean that this Arctovish could be healing up with the Hail each turn, and obviously the currently locked Slush Rush, which we might be getting some information about tomorrow morning.
Hopefully. I've heard some people say that the secret hidden item might have something to do with that.
Yep, we see another Vicious Rend here go into that Corviknight slot, and another Sparkling Aria come out. This Arctovish is pretty much locked into this move now, and I'm not sure it can make it through the Corviknight at this point.
Yeah, but the Lapras on its own might.
That's true, yeah, the combination of that damage.
Although it is losing HP very rapidly, and if this last Pokemon is Serena, it might be a little difficult.
Yep, that would probably be a pretty good bring for Nibs, and it's actually Sylveon.
Okay, here's the question. Do you think Sylveon gets KO'd by a Vicious Rend? Because I do not.
I don't think that it does. Arctivish just not really bringing the damage. I think it has a significantly lower base attack.
I believe it's 90 versus 100.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah, so 10% less. We see the Corviknight opt for the Roost here.
Oh, go ahead first.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say it's 90 versus 100, but you also have to think about the fact that it doesn't have Strong Jaw.
Yeah. And it does live. A Hyper Voice here will do some big damage.
Yeah. Oh.
Less than I thought.
This is not looking too good for Nibs right here.
Yeah, I think by not getting those Steel Spikes earlier on in the game and opting for the speed boosts, he's obviously faster than the Choice Scarfed Arctivish, but yeah, we see the Protect come out here from Sylveon. Iron Head into the Arctivish. Oh, that brings it quite low.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We immediately switched our train of thought.
So the thing is here, a Sparkling Aria will get it some health back.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough.
No, it's not enough for an Iron Head. So yeah, a pretty safe Iron Head into Hyper Voice should get some good damage on a single target Hyper Voice into that Lapras. Especially now the Hail is kind of stopped and it's not going to be chunking anymore onto the Sylveon or the Corviknight. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just a very safe Iron Head and Hyper Voice will probably seal up this game, depending on the how. Ooh, never mind.
That lived. Wow.
I think Brave Bird would have been the play there because Brave Bird would have gotten that KO.
Yep, and then here we see the Arctivish heal back up with that Sparkling Aria. And Nibs in the chat saying, "Wow, ha ha ha." Not exactly what he was
wanting. Wait, what the heck?
Wait, what happened there?
What was that animation?
Wait, is it single target when there's only one Pokemon on the opposite side of the field?
Yeah, but it targeted like the Arctivish with the animation. What the heck?
Did it hit the Corviknight?
It did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Nibs is.
Oh
wait. If he survives his turn, he just wins. But it does not look. I don't think that was the play.
I don't think he does. Yeah.
He very easily could have just Brave Birded the Arctivish at any point in time when it was at like the 40 HP because see, this animation's so weird.
Okay, it is still damaging the Corviknight. I was confused. I was like, is it only hitting the Arctivish? So there we see a very interesting tech come out from Sir Wilson to go ahead and steal a game one. I'm gonna call that steal a game one.
I would also tend to agree. Steal is a good word for that one.
Yeah, Nibs feeling kind of afraid to click the moves that will KO. It sort of felt like he was in a position where he could have kind of cleaned up at several different points and opted not to. Yeah,
choosing not to go for the recoil when the damage, like with Brave Bird, when Brave Bird would have KO'd multiple different times. Just hoping Iron Head was enough and it fell short on both the Arctivish and on the Lapras.
Yeah, falling short by just 3 HP I think on the Arctivish and 6 HP on the Lapras. That's a pretty tough, potentially roll territory.
But then if that's a roll, then Brave Bird was not a roll.
Exactly.
Is the thing.
It always KOs, yeah. So Sir Wilson, I don't think really wants to go with that exact same strategy. I think he's recognized, all right, if that Corviknight clicked Brave Bird on any of those turns, or if it even just Steel Spiked into the Ninetales, things could have gotten kind of messy there. There is some information now about what the item that Ninetales has, with the fact that the hail lasted for so long. Nib should know that it is Icy Rock, based on that. So we see Sir Wilson kind of coming up with a couple different ideas here and trying to decide what does he really want to do. This Choice Scarf Arctivish, I'm curious at what of Nibs' Pokemon it's going to get a Vicious Rend off into when they're at neutral. I would assume we already know the Sylveon is the case, but what are the other ones? That's the thing, is I'm not quite as familiar with Arctivish's speed tier. I know that some people use it in Trick Room.
I think it's base 60.
Base 60. Let's take a peek.
Base 65 maybe.
I'm gonna go.
I think it's 10 lower than Dracovish, and maybe it's 55. I think it's 55. think it's 20 lower than Dracovision and Dracozolt.
Yeah, we don't see the slower little brothers of the Fossil Trio because their moves are just so busted when you move first that it's tough to see. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take a quick peek. What are the leads going to be? Oh, it's base 55 speed, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Grimmsnarl Arcanine versus Mamoswine Ninetales.
Yeah, pretty good lead here, I'd say.
Yeah.
For Nibs.
I'm wondering why Nibs is choosing not to bring the Lapras. It seems to be pretty strong against just about everything. Nothing hits it for super effective damage. I don't know. Although just a quick Will-O-Wisp here might just seal the game if Sir Wilson will allow that to happen.
Yeah, like a Will-O-Wisp and Reflect even. Just...
Yeah.
Does he have screens on this team? I know we saw Thunderwave.
So.
Yeah.
I think something like a Will-O-Wisp and a Thunderwave might just... If that is what Nibs chooses to go, if he chooses to go for the Flamethrower instead and potentially procs the weakness policy on this Mamoswine, it will not be a good look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things is you didn't see that weakness policy game 1, so you've got to be a little afraid of what a Mamoswine might be carrying on it. Mamoswine, I think it... Ooh, Fake Tears.
I don't think this KOs, especially if it's Stick Bat.
Either.
But, Andrew,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
That's not KOing. Oh, it's Heat Wave too, I believe.
Oh, no, he just went for the Fake Tears Will-O-Wisp to go ahead and offset for the future. I think that was a really good play.
Yeah, I do too. I was very confused when the Fake Tears came out.
Yeah, I was worried. I think it was just Nibs recognizing there wasn't a whole lot better that he could do, because sure, he can paralyze the Ninetales, but the speed order doesn't really matter when you're just going for Will-O-Wisp.
Okay, so if this Arcanine protects this turn, Max Quake into Hail into Max Quake through Protect into Hail will be just the right amount to proc the berry. I don't know how that lined up, but that's probably what's going to be happening this turn.
Yeah, we'll see here. Arcanine does opt to go ahead and go for the Protect here, which it could end the turn with more health than it started it, which is really interesting. So we see the Thunderwave come out onto the Ninetales. Just going ahead and getting some nice speed control for the late game. We see the Max Quake here into the Arcanine.
Ooh, that was a lower roll than the first one.
Yeah. So let's see exactly where that ends up with hail damage. I don't think it's going to proc the berry.
I don't think so either. The first one did about 50%, so you would think the next one would do 12.5%, but that looked like it only did like 7 or 8%.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's just outside of it.
Oh, that's a bit frustrating.
I think that's 1 HP outside of it.
Yeah, I would assume.
Oh, that is very that's pretty tough there for Nibs. So here with this Mamoswine Dynamaxing, Will has gone ahead and taken care of. He's in a position here where he could take a double knockout this turn.
Yeah. But he has wasted all 3 of his Dynamax turns, while Nibs has not used none of his.
Yeah, yeah. And presumably he's got something else in the back that's super effective against these. So we'll see what happens here if Nibs opts to stay in with that Arcanine or preserves the Intimidate for later, maybe where he can bring it in on a hail damage and get that berry proc again. So we do see him go ahead and withdraw it here. Sends out the Corviknight. If it's a Max Quake into that, then that'd be very bad, but it is a Max Rockfall, so it's meeting more damage.
It's gonna do like 15%.
Yeah, not even. Doing all kinds of nothing.
I think this Max Rockfall is going to be doing more damage to Ninetales than it's going to be doing to the Corviknight.
Yeah, so we do see the Ninetales now here. Go ahead and get the Dazzling Gleam off. And now Nibs is in a pretty safe position to bring that Arcanine back out. And yeah, he could switch it out again for continuing to cycle Intimidate. If he's worried about a potential, I don't know what you would do. Oh, he's even got the Lapras here.
One thing he does need to know is that even though he got the Fake Tears off turn 1, the Mamoswine is back to neutral defense.
From the 2 Max Quakes.
there's also potentially multiple water absorb mons in the back. We know the Arctivish has it. The Lapras could also have it. And as we can see, is with Will hovering over it, it does have it. So going for a Geyser here is probably not the best play.
Yeah.
And honestly, having Freeze Dry is probably better off at this point than having Resonance if you're just going to max the Corviknight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Corviknight maxing here makes a lot of sense, and just getting some Steel Spikes off. You're already faster than that Ninetales. You should just be able to KO it with a max Steel Spike, and anything that switches in isn't going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, an Arctivish could tank it here potentially, so we see the Mamosine switch out for the Lapras. Nibs, I think, is being cautious not to go for a super effective move into that Mamosine. I think he's probably sussed out that it is a weakness policy. I know these two talk a lot about their teams. We actually just see a critical hit with the Iron Head and a followed up by Freeze Dry into the Lapras.
That was a very solid turn.
Yeah, not spending his Dynamax too early, kind of wanting to see what exactly Sir Wilson was going to do there.
I mean, he could have put himself in a poor position here, not being able to take a Vicious Rend without the speed boost. But I think he should be fine just Dynamaxing the Corviknight this turn.
Yeah. Yep, as we see.
Helping Hand, Vicious Rend.
That could do a lot of damage. No.
Oh, Sparkling Aria, Vicious Rend.
Yep, so we see this here, and depending on what Nibs' Lapras says, I believe he typically runs Shell Armor, but if he happens to be Water Absorb, and that Arctivish gets locked into Vicious Rend, it could be a very long end game.
Yeah, I think this Arctivish might just be getting KO'd this turn by a Max Airstream.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised by that.
Which, now Nibs is in a position where both Max Airstream and Max Steel Spike would KO this Arctivish, so it's not a particularly poor. Oh, and it went into Lapras instead.
Interesting.
Well, if this Lapras also gets off a Sparkling Aria, and then another Vicious Rend goes off into Corviknight, it might not take the combination of those two.
Yeah. We see the Freeze Dry into the Arctivish. Brings it down, but again, this combination of Sparkling Aria plus Vicious Rend continues to heal up the Arctivish. That is going to be close with the +1 on defense.
The interesting question is, did you see how much damage that the Arctivish took the previous turn? Is it in range of another Freeze Dry? Oh, well, it came off now. Yes, it is in range of another.
It is now, for sure.
Helping Hand Vicious Rend might just pick up the KO here.
Yeah, if I'm Nibs, I might even go for a Max Guard Freeze Dry. It looks like we do not see the Max Guard. We see the Helping Hand come out.
Max Guard might be next, though.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so Nibs making a great call there. Blocking that Vicious Rend.
Yeah, making it a little closer than necessary.
Thunderbolt.
Wait, why didn't he just go for that last turn?
Yeah, I don't know, but that will go ahead and pick up the KO.
I think Nibs is suffering from the same thing that I was suffering from, and seeing Mono Ice and Brain just turning off.
Yeah.
Being very, because honestly, I might have done the same thing. I was like, oh, Freeze Dry is super effective onto that fish. It's super effective on Dracovish.
Yep.
And then Brain off.
Yeah, it's not 4 times super effective like this Dracovish.
Yeah.
So here, this Corviknight will move first, and it can take its pick on who it wants to pick off, whether that's the Lapras or the Ninetales. Given that Nibs' own Lapras has a speed boost, I wouldn't be too surprised by a Steel Spike into the Ninetales.
Does it have a speed boost, or did he Steel Spike turn 1?
He Steel Spiked.
Oh, it's paralyzed Ninetales in mine. So I do not believe it has a speed boost at this point.
Yeah, I was wondering. Oh, and we know that Sir Wilson's Lapras is actually slower. So
yeah. Which I don't think Nibs is running that much speed, so it must just be like min-speed Lapras.
Yeah, this team kind of looks like. I mean, the Arctivish has Choice Scarf, but like I almost feel like Arctivish might benefit better from Iron Ball and trying to operate in Trick Room.
Yeah, but you have one issue there. What Ice type learns Trick Room?
Exactly.
Other than Jinx, is there an Ice-type Trick Room setter?
Does Glalie learn it?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was like, somewhere in that line would be my best guess.
Well, we have a little bit of time to think of Ice-type Trick Room setters off the top of our head, because I think Jinx gets it.
Yeah, Jinx would make sense, which we will
Is
be seeing Jinx.
Cryogonal?
Cryogonal could. I've honestly never used Cryogonal. And we see a cancel of the battle come out. Nibs, the victor. We're back on our streak here. We're going to start here on the very first one going to Game 3. Perhaps we can go 10 more straight and match our last run of 11 straight games going to best of threes.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
So, yeah, here in this last game, that Arctivish is proving to be a little bit troublesome for Nibs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the more troublesome thing is he thinks that he's going to do more damage to it than he is ending up doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if he just doubles into it in a turn that he hadn't been beforehand, he might be fine. That would be like the one big thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's in a position where like everything has been possible for him to go ahead and pick up KOs and clean up. But I think I'd be in the same. It happened to me when I played Will specifically when he ran an all-water team. And I was like baffled by like, what is Tentacruel? What is a Tentacruel? What does it do? I had no idea it was.
Play the mono evolution. Brain just turns off.
Yeah, yeah. Those teams have tended to like always have a run at the beginning of a generation, where people just think like, oh, I can get someone just by them not knowing what all these evolutions do in concert with one another at the very least.
Yeah. Wait. Does Arceus learn Trick Room? I think it does. Arceus Ice is another ice type that gets Trick Room.
There you go. Yep.
I think.
That'll definitely be VGC 21 legal.
Are there any? Oh, Galarian, Mr. Mime, and Mr. Rhyme.
That's right.
They definitely get it. But I think that might be it. I think it's just Jinx, the Mime and Rhyme, and Arceus. Unless I'm completely forgetting something.
No, I don't think that you are.
No, other Ice Psychics.
Ice Psychic. I mean, we're gonna get Articuno here. No, it's not even Ice. It's Psychic Line. I keep thinking that it's Ice Psychic.
And
which would be so much cooler.
Like Ice Ghosts other than Frostlass, which doesn't get it.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking about earlier. Not Glalie, but Frostlass from the same. No, it's not the same line. That's the Snorunt line.
It's like the same tree.
Yeah. So here we see the Grim Arc combination coming out from Nibs, which will go ahead and neuter some of this damage from this Arctivish. The Arctivish obviously in a position where a Fish's Rend can do some decent chunks of damage, but you really don't want to be either burned or paralyzed, because either one of those two really cuts down on your damage output.
I think really the safest play for Nibs is just Thunderwaving the Arctivish and Snarling, because I don't think a going second Fish's Rend is KOing this Arcanine.
I don't think so either.
I don't even think a going second Fish's Rend in the rain would KO this Arcanine. I could be wrong on that one though.
Yeah, that's the I don't know my Arctivish calcs very well. So we see actually here, recognizing the position that he's in, Sir Wilson goes ahead and switches out that Arctivish for the Alolan Ninetales. In this case, it's going to go ahead and set the Hail. And I think we're about to see our very first, this is our first Gigantamax Lapras of a Hail team. Two players having it.
Both players have Gmax Lapras. Both players brought Lapras. And this is Game 3 is the first time we are seeing a Dynamax.
I will say this has not been a typical set.
Oh, of course.
You shouldn't expect a typical set whenever you've got Will getting ready to play though. So Arcanine here opting for the Protect. And Gurdensnarl going for the Thunder Wave, probably predicting a Fish's Rend into that Arcanine slot. But that Protect pretty much wasted on this turn, as that Resonance is targeting the Grimmsnarl. It's not gonna... Oh, it does way more damage than I thought it did. Brought it down to... Oh, it's a critical hit. That makes way more sense.
Yeah. I was gonna say, that should not have done that much damage.
I was like... it is gonna go down to the Hail here, though.
Yeah, which is very not good.
Yeah. Super unfortunate for Nibs. Very untimely crit.
Yeah, and it really now that Grimmsnarl's gone, that there's not really anything he can do to beat this. I guess he has Max Lightning on his Lapras, but he's in a very tough position versus opposing Lapras.
Yeah, we haven't seen a reveal from this Alolan Ninetales of Freeze Dry yet. That's potentially something that Nibs is a little bit afraid of.
Oh, I was gonna say, I really hope that he just Hypnosis is the opposing Lapras. That would be really funny.
Yeah, that would be funny. Because it is paralyzed, I don't know, if you go for a Max Lightning out of fear of that. Or trying to catch an
really
Arcturus.
depends on how fast. It depends on how fast this Lapras is.
Yeah.
Because Ninetales hits what, 177 speed?
Yes, that'd be 88?
80.
89?
89. 88.
Yeah, 88 rounding down.
80. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which his
Math.
Ninetales should be, but also the chance of hitting a Hypnosis through paralysis is what, 45%?
You know what? After a week into the IC, you never know.
Brain turned off, I see. Oh, Lapras avoids the Snarl, which is very big.
Ooh, that is really big. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage reduction. That could have been really good for Nibs in that case. So we see the max resonance here into that Arctivish. Gonna do a little bit of damage, but way more importantly, it's gonna be setting the screens.
That did nothing.
All in all, I think a pretty terrible trade for Nibs in that turn. Not getting the Snarl, as well as getting absolutely almost nothing out of it. So here we see this should just go ahead and be enough to KO the Arcanine now without the Snarl drop.
Yeah, even though it's through Veil, it's not enough to survive. Also, something else with this Max Geyser is that now we have Rain Boosted Vicious Rend.
It's true, we do.
And if Corviknight is the last one here, Corviknight cannot protect from this Rain Boosted Vicious Rend.
Yeah, so White Tiger's pointing out in the chat that Nibs does have Thunderbolt, which is a pretty nice move to have right now, to be able to click into that Arctivish.
I think at this point you just double into the Corviknight and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Corviknights typically don't run Protect, so it's a pretty safe amount of damage there, knowing that whatever you get off, it's going to be onto that. It could go for a Roost, trying to go ahead and, hoping that it survives. A Rain Boosted Vicious Rend going first.
It should survive this.
Yeah,
Sure.
Into a Max Geyser. It gets the Roost off before.
It might survive the combination, actually.
Yeah. It's almost all the way back up at full. The Max Lightning here should... a good chunk in Arctivish, yeah.
Not Arctivish.
Yeah, Veil putting in a lot of work again in this game. So we go from absolutely no Gigantamax Laprases to Gigantamax Lapras v Gigantamax Lapras. What do you think about that, Chase?
I think it was the right call for both of these players, and this Corviknight sadly isn't going to be lasting very much longer.
No, I don't think it will. It's going to pretty much just go down here to a Vicious Rend. The trade will be that the Arctivish will also go down to a Max Lightning on this turn.
Unless the Max Lightning targets the Lapras, and the Sparkling Aria heals it back up, potentially.
Yeah, but I don't think you're leaving the Arctivish alone. we have seen it be left alone.
You never know.
Yep, we do see the Vicious Rend here come out. It's enough to go and KO the Corviknight. We figured as much when it did 80%. So here we see the Max Lightning, and it does in fact target this Arctivish. It is removed from the field, but it did a lot of the damage. KOing this Freeze Dry now does functionally nothing. Yeah, so now you have...
Wait, the Ninetales is still alive.
The Ninetales is still alive. It took almost no damage, I think. So
then Will should have this in the bag, pending very unlucky paralysis rolls and other stuff going poorly.
Yeah, he does have the ability to reset the Veil once his Veil has expired, with that Ninetales as well. But yeah, in this case, Freeze Dry continually into that Lapras feels like the move.
Freeze Dry plus Dazzling Gleam.
Rollercoaster asking, can 3 ice types take out a Lapras?
If one of them has Swords Dance, yes.
Yeah, one of them has Swords Dance and a ground move. So we see the Hydro Pump here actually on turn 1. I'm gonna go ahead and opt for some damage onto Ninetales, not really doing a whole lot of damage Dazzling Gleam, in return, not doing a ton. Freeze Dry will do a little bit more.
I might just go out and get some food real quick as this end game happens because neither team is doing very much damage.
No, neither team is. The Aurora Veil has now worn off for Will's side of the field, but again, because that Ninetales is sitting right there, looks like Nibs is going to try and take advantage of...
Oh, no. What the heck?
The Aurora Veil expired that turn.
Oh.
So he was trying to take advantage of the opportunity, gonna try and get the KO, but unfortunately, oh, full para on the Lapras.
Wow.
That's
that
one
was
way.
Something.
This
yeah,
game
that is. I hate full paralysis. It's so dumb.
I do as well. It feels like it's a little bit of a makeup for the Miss Snarl and the crit on the Arcanine, though. I mean, on the Grimmsnarl.
Electricity is gone.
Ooh.
Hypnosis time.
Yep.
Oh, never mind.
No, just gonna go for that.
Are you ready for the double full para? Oh. No.
Let's see here. Thunderbolt comes out, connects on the Lapras.
I think this Sandslash should have it in the bag, I will say.
It definitely should, yeah. It's also knowing its item. The fact that the full para didn't come in that turn pretty much locks it up.
Yeah, and Ironhead Dazzling Gleam should just end this game.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I had to message Cherry that I'm going to be playing him next.
Yeah, Cherry is hanging out in the chat right now. We see the GGs come out from Nibs in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and not give him the satisfaction of running from the battle, but gonna go ahead and let it go down to the Ironhead. GG's to the double Lapras coming out. So with that, that is set number 3 of the night. Usually.
Hey, you like that video? We think you should check this out, and YouTube thinks you should check this one out. And be sure to subscribe for more content.